I paid $5 at an HOA garage sale. 2 days later, the HOA president was standing at my door asking for it back. Not asking, telling. At the time, I didn't even know why it mattered. The garage sale was small and boring, the kind where you expect chipped mugs and tangled cords. The HOA president was running it himself, clipboard under his arm, smiling like a man who enjoyed authority a little too much. That's where I saw it. A small brass desk clock, scratched glass, dull shine. It didn't work. When I asked about it, he barely looked up. Old junk from the previous board, he said. $5. I paid, took it home, and put it on a shelf. I forgot about it completely until the knock. 2 days later, I opened my door to find the HOA president standing there alone. No clipboard, no smile. He said there'd been a mistake. The clock wasn't supposed to be sold. He wanted it back. I told him I bought it fair and square. That's when his tone changed. He started talking about HOA rules, HOA authority, how things could get complicated if residents didn't cooperate. When I asked why he wanted it so badly, he didn't answer, just repeated that it belonged to him. That was the moment I knew the clock wasn't ordinary. I closed the door. That night, I heard a sound from my living room. Tick, tick, tick. The clock was working. Over the next few days, I learned its history from an older neighbor. Before the neighborhood looked the way it does now, there was one man in charge, the original developer. He wrote the HOA rules himself and enforced them obsessively. People said he walked the streets at night, measuring grass and porches with a flashlight. He died alone in the HOA office, and that clock sat on his desk. Afterward, board members claimed the clock would start ticking during arguments, especially when decisions went against the old rules. Anyone who kept it too long lost their position, resigned, moved away. The clock was passed quietly from one HOA president to the next. No one wanted it. The current president had sold it without knowing, or had remembered too late. The following week, he started issuing fines. Violations that didn't exist, measurements that made no sense, warning for rules no one could find. Neighbors complained, records were checked, emails surfaced. The clock ticked steadily on my shelf. An emergency board meeting was called. The HOA president couldn't explain himself. His paperwork contradicted his own rules. By the end of the meeting, he was removed from his position, fired for misconduct and abuse of authority. A few days later, the board came to my door. They asked about the clock. They offered me a very good price for it, far more than $5. They said it belonged with HOA records, locked away where it couldn't cause distractions. I accepted. The day they took it, the clock stopped ticking. It now sits in a glass case in the HOA office, silent and harmless looking. The fines stopped. Meetings grew shorter. The neighborhood finally felt calm. But sometimes, when I walk past the office late at night, I swear I still hear it. Tick, tick, tick.